There are so many ways to describe this game. One comes to mind is it's basically the Akira Kurosawa to Red Dead Redemption 2's Sergio Leone. Another would be Assassin's Creed, but it's set in Japan, but unlike the recent AC games, it's actually fun. Or my second personal favorite, it's like a Batman and Lone Ranger origin story, but with a samurai who becomes basically a proto ninja. Like this game's set before ninjas were ever a thing, so like ninjas didn't come into being, I think, until after the Mongolian invasion. Anyway, and I'll come out and say this up front. Initially, I think I was about as interested in this game as I would have been with the Armenian chick's hot takes. Which is to say, you couldn't have paid me to care. This could be because I mixed it up with the Dark Souls-like game. I believe it's called Sekiro. I think at one point I thought they were the same game that came out before it, but anyway. But shame on me regardless. This changed when I saw some videos about the game from the three last people I expected to opine on the subject, Mad Mike, Jeremy Johns, and Andrew Clavin. Then my attitude changed faster than Lacey Green after a conversation with Chris Raygun. And I'm glad I did because this game is awesome. It is the shit. Created by Sucker Punch, the same studio that created the classic Sly Cooper games and Infamous games. The Ghost of Sushi is this. You play as a samurai named Jin Sakai, who was part of the samurai defenders who attempted to repel the Mongolian invasion, my mistake, and it went about as well as the governor's marriage. From there begins your adventures as the lone samurai, or, well, actually no. I think I'll skip from going on further elaboration there. You use a katana, a tanto, which is like a katana-like dagger, bows, bombs, to name what I've used so far. There's a blow dart thing you can use, and bombs. Can't remember if I mentioned that already, but yeah, there are bombs in this game you can throw, like crude bombs, but bombs nonetheless. Using 4 stances to combat 4 classes of enemies. X is for sword enemies, circle is for shields, triangle is for polearms, and square is for brutes, the bigger enemies. And these stances actually have names for them besides the button you use with them. Like you click R2 and then you would pick one of them. I just couldn't be bothered to remember them because I forgot to when I was writing down my notes. But fuck it, that's how it works. And you unlock these gradually. You get the first stance, which is the X stance, which is, I believe, the stone stance. Not that kind of stone, get your head out of the gutter. Or not that kind of hippies. But that's for swordsmen. Then I think you have to beat a number of enemy leaders to unlock the stances one at a time. And you gain more abilities through the game as you level up your legend, which that's kind of like your level system is the legend. You just grow from there, and you can unlock special abilities by completing special quests. You can find outfits. I always just got the what's his name, Tadori something, like this archer outfit. Like I'm not an archer, I'm not the archer in time, but I loved his outfit. That was the one I played until I got to the ghost armor. Or at least the Sakai clan samurai armor. But anyway, I'm sidetracking here. Throughout the game, you are essentially working to combat the Mongolians invading, but doing so while going against the code of the samurai. And you see this have an effect on our guy in the game. Small little touches, such as when you stealth kill for the first time when it is not required by a story mission. You see him relive a flashback to one of his uncle's lessons, which gives him progression to becoming the proto ninja. But anyway, you see him like struggling with this. Like he's like, "Forgive me, uncle," because his uncle told him basically only cowards strike from the shadows. They look their enemy in the eyes or they fight them. Unfortunately, Jin can't do that. So you see that you see his relationship with his uncle kind of get damaged. But yeah, it's a more tragic struggle to it, and this makes it more intriguing. You see moments such as that and him questioning if he has crossed the line. But enough about the story. That's as much as I want to reveal about that. It's an open world game, which makes me surprised that I enjoyed this game as much as I did, because I thought I was burned out on open world games after The Glitcher 3. Based on the real world location of Tsushima, if you're looking for some historical authenticity or something like that, I don't know how much you'll get. The game is more like, as I mentioned, how I assumed an Akira Kurosawa film would be in color mixed with Assassin's Creed elements. Another comparison would be Sly Cooper and Infamous, both of which, well, yeah, as I mentioned, these were two games made by Sucker Punch. So essentially, it's not that surprising that there would be similar elements, which I'm glad, because I liked those games, especially Sly Cooper. That was one of the things that got me to get a PS2. The memories. Anyway, it's a fun game, which for me is the most important thing for a game. That and quality control, some of the time. It doesn't basically punish players who want to have a good time, unlike The Last of Us Part 2, which, funny enough, I believe Yellow Flash said that this game had a similar narrative to said game. That being, there is no good guy without baggage, and it is a comparison I somewhat agree with. Somewhat, not completely. I've never played The Last of Us Part 2. I've only seen bits of it, and I have no interest in ever playing it because fuck Naughty Dog. They burned a bridge with me when they did what they did. But, which is funny enough because of the passive aggressive jackass of a director for that game and the goat fuck that led to the game he directed being released. Ghost of Tsushima would apparently win a Player's Choice Award among other awards, and I consider that the only award worth giving a shit about. It showed, or I can't remember the exact name of the award. I tried looking it up, but I forgot what I found when I looked it up. But yeah, so players enjoyed this game, and thanks to Neil Druckmann, it won an award by the players who were just looking to spy him. So congratulations, Neil Druckmann, you dumb son of a bitch. And on top of this, the game was crafted so well that people in Japan actually praised it, like they really loved it. This included, I believe, the director of the Yakuza games, or some guy involved with the Yakuza games. And also, in addition to this, it pissed off the Puritans and game journalists alike, which is always a good bonus for me, personally. Downside for me is that there are some moments where the story does punch you in the gut, like your parents' divorce, but, well, actually, no, that's worse. But that's not much of a complaint because a story needs to have that at certain points. If I have any real complaint, it would be that the coolest looking outfit in this game, you only get near the end of the game. Like, when you reach the last section of the island is when you get it. Which, fuck, that sucked. If you haven't played this gem yet and have money to spare, I would recommend giving it a shot. It definitely takes up a lot of time when contending with the Mongolians, so much so that it was only after I got through most of the game that I got to what... Sorry to bring further. I got what Jeremy Johns meant when he said this game consumed him. Like, it takes a lot of time to do. And that's all I can really say about the game, aside from PETA members do not get it. It will piss you off to no one. Actually, no. Actually, then get it, because I love when it pisses you dumbasses off, but... Other than that, that's all I can say without revealing too much detail and spoilers. It's just fun. And again, this does lead to Jin sort of becoming a proto-ninja. So, like, you combine samurai stuff with ninja stuff, which is always a bonus. That's always good, because, like, imagine if you could combine a knight with an assassin, or a assassin from the Crusades. That would be a badass combination. Actually, no, in some ways, this has another thing in common with Assassin's Creed, the first game. Because in Assassin's Creed, you could either stealth kill, or just massacre everyone who got in your way. I often did the latter in that first game. I'm not gonna lie. I had too much fun with it. Don't know if there's something wrong with me, but oh well. Fun game. If you haven't tried it yet, do it. Just do it. And that's all I wanted to say. Have a nice day, and remember the game was rigged from the start.